Alright, let's jump right into it. Grand Theft Auto 6, the game we have been waiting on for what feels like an eternity. Like seriously, Rockstar, what are you doing to us? 10 years, that's enough time to finish school, start a career, maybe even grow a beard if you're lucky. And we still don't have GTA 6 in our hands. But here's the thing, all those rumors, leaks, and tiny little breadcrumbs that started to make sense. There are massive 3.5 billion budget being thrown around. There are actors like Johnny Ray Gill hinting at their involvement, and there's even leaked audio floating around that might be from the game soundtrack. How? And don't forget the release date speculation. Are we talking 2025 or is Rockstar gonna make us sweat until 2026? I'm breaking it all down for you today, the cast, the budget, the timeline and everything else we know so far about what could be the most ambitious game Rockstar ever made. And don't worry, so this is not one of those videos where I ramble for half an hour before getting into the point. We are diving straight into the juicy details, so let's get started. Let's kick things off with something that's got the GTA fandom buzzing. Johnny Ray Gill. Now, if you're thinking, wait, who is that? Don't worry, I got you. He's an actor who has worked with Rockstar before. He had roles in both GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and recently he dropped some major hints that he is involved in GTA 6. So, here is what went down. During an interview, Gill was asked about upcoming projects, and instead of dodging the question like most actors under an NDA, he got cryptic. You know, when someone wants to say something but legally can't, so they just start dropping vague clues. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He mentioned working on something huge, and you could just feel the GTA 6 energy in the room. Now, why does this matter? First of all, Rockstar doesn't just pick random people for their games, they have got a history of working with incredibly talented actors who bring up their A game every time. Look at Stephen Ogg as Trevor in GTA 5. That dude didn't just play Trevor, he was Trevor. So if Johnny Ray Gill is back, you know Rockstar is cooking up something special for his character. Here is what really got me thinking. Though, if Gill is involved, does this mean we are going to see some kind of connection to past games? Maybe his role ties back to a storyline or a character we already know. Or, and hear me out, maybe he is helping Rockstar push into completely new territory. What do you guys think? Is Johnny Ray Gill just one piece of a much bigger puzzle? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I can't be only one obsessing over this. Okay, let's talk about Rockstar's rumored 3.5 billion budget for GTA 6. Yeah, you heard that right, billion with B. Let's just pause for a second and literally appreciate how wild that is. That's not just a game budget, that's the GDP of a small country. So, where's all this money going? Let's break it down because you know Rockstar is not just burning through cash for fun. First off, the map. Rumors suggest that GTA 6 is going to feature multiple cities, possible even entire region or countries. Can you even imagine the kind of detail they need to pull that off? We are not just talking about big open spaces, we are talking about densely populated cities, tiny hidden areas, and other those little details that make Rockstar games feel alive. That's got a cost a fortune. Then there's the technology. Rockstar reportedly building a brand new physics engine for this game, which, let's be honest, sounds absolutely insane. This is not just about making the games look good, though you know it's going to look good. It's about how the world reacts to you. From the cars you drive to the way NPCs respond to your actions, the level of realism doesn't come cheap. And let's not forget the cast. If Johnny Ray Gill is part of the project, you can bet Rockstar's got other top tier talented lineup and a list characters, voice work, and motion capture. Yeah, that's another chunk of that 3.5 billion. Oh, and the marketing. Rockstar doesn't just announce games, they launch events. Remember the buzz around the first GTA 5 trailer? Everyone was talking about it. You can bet they are going to go even harder for GTA 6 with massive ad campaigns, teasers, and probably some stunts we haven't seen even thought of it. Here is what wild to me. Rockstar is clearly sparking no expense, but does that mean the game will have to sell like 50 million copies just to break even? Probably, but let me throw this to you. Do you think 3.5 billion is justified or is Rockstar taking a huge risk? I want to know what you guys think because this budget is next level ridiculous. Alright, let's talk dates because honestly the big question on everyone's mind is when is GTA 6 actually coming out? If you're anything like me, you're tired of waiting. We have been hearing rumors for years, but now we have finally got some actual hints. Take Two Interactive, Rockstar's parent company, recently mentioned that their 2025 fiscal year is going to be massive. Like they are predicting record breaking profits. And let's be real, what else could cause that kind of hype other than GTA 6? They didn't say it outright, but come on, it's not a stretch to connect the dots. Now, here is where it gets tricky. While 2025 feels like a safe bet, this is Rockstar we are talking about. They are the kings and queens of delays. I mean, remember when Red Dead Redemption 2 got pushed back like a billion times? It was painful, but when it finally dropped, oh man, it was worth every second of the wait. So, if they decide the game needs a bit more time in the oven, 2026 is not off the table. And honestly, I rather wait an extra year for something incredible than get a half-baked game that needs 20 patches to fix. But let's not forget, Rockstar got the power to completely shut down the gaming world whenever they decide to drop this thing. Whether it's 2025 or 2026, there is no other game that is going to compete, period. So here is my question for you. Would you rather have a game in 2025 knowing it might come with a few rough edges, or are you team 2026 happy to wait for absolute perfection? Let me know in the comments because this debate always gets spicy. Alright, let's talk about the world that's got everyone buzzing. Breathtaking. That's the exact word Take-Two Interactive CEO used in describe GTA 6. I mean, that's not a word you throw around lightly. You don't just say a breathtaking and expect people not to freak out. So, what could he mean by that? Is it the visuals, the gameplay, the story? Honestly, it's probably all of the above. Rockstar is not known for doing things halfway. When they build a game, it's like they are trying to one-up themselves every single time. Remember how Red Dead Redemption 2 made us all cry over a cowboy? And don't even get me started on the level of realism in GTA 5. People are still finding new stuff to do in Los Santos 10 years later. Now, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine stepping into this massive open world, maybe starting in Vice City, and everything feels alive. The streets are not just there for decoration. Every NPCs, every car, every buildings react to you in ways that feels real. That's the level of Rockstar is aiming for, and honestly, I don't think it's an exaggeration to call it breathtaking. But let's not forget the story. Rockstar doesn't just give us games, they give us stories we can't stop thinking about. Arthur Morgan, Nico Bellic, Michael, Trevor, Franklin, they are not just characters, they are experiences. If GTA 6 has even half the emotional depth of RDR 2, we are all going to be in for a wild ride. So what do you think? Is this just marketing hype, or do you think Rockstar is really about to blow us away? Personally, I am betting on the latter. Let's take it back to where this all started. Rumors has it that development for GTA 6 began in late 2018 or early 2019. That's right after Red Dead Redemption 2 dropped. And if you know Rockstar, you know they don't just rush into full production. Here is how it usually goes. They spend the first few years in pre-production, brainstorming ideas, writing scripts, and designing the world, and creating tech. By the time actual development starts, they have already solved most of the big questions like what's the game about and how are we going to blow everyone's mind this time. Now, fast forward to today, that means GTA 6 has had at least 5 to 6 years of serious development time. That's longer than the gap between GTA 4 and GTA 5. And look at how much a leap forward that was. Imagine what Rockstar can do with nearly a decade of work. But here is the kicker. Rockstar is not just building a game, they are building the game. The one that's going to set the bars for the next 10 years. That kind of ambition takes time, and honestly, I'm here for it. What about you? Do you think all this time is going to pay off, or are you worried it's too much hyped? Let's talk about it. Alright, let's get into the nerdy stuff. The physics engine. Because while everyone's losing their minds over how good GTA 6 will look, I am over here thinking about how it's going to feel. Here is the deal. Rockstar is reportedly working on a new generation physics engine that's going to change everything. Remember in Red Dead Redemption 2 how your horse would move differently depending on the terrain, or how NPCs would react to you in ways that felt shockingly real. Now take that and crank it up to 11. Imagine you are driving in the rain, the roads get slick, your car starts to skid, and you actually feel the difference in how it handles. Or you are in a high-speed chase, and when you crash into a building, it doesn't just bounce your car back, it destroys part of the structure. That's the level of realism we are talking about. But here is the wild part. This is not just about cars, the environmental itself could react dynamically to everything you do. NPCs might remember your actions and hold grudges. Building might take damage that stays there until you repair it. Honestly, this kind of stuff that could redefine what open world games are capable of. Graphics are great, but physics is where the real magic happens. Look, let's be real. 2025 is going to packed with big games, but let's also be real. None of them are going to matter when GTA 6 drops. This is not just another game launch, it's the launch. Rockstar doesn't just release games, they create cultural moments. When GTA 6 comes out, the entire gaming world is going to stop. Other studios know this, which is why you will probably see a lot of games getting out of the way. Now, no one wants to go head to head with Rockstar. Think about it, when was the last time a Rockstar game didn't dominate the conversation? Exactly. Here is something fun to watch for in the next year. Actors teasing their involvement in GTA 6 on social media. Johnny Ray Gill already dropped some hints, but I guarantee he won't be the last. Rockstar loves this kind of subtle, viral marketing. Don't be surprised if you start seeing cryptic Instagram posts, behind the scene photos, or even vague captions like big things coming. It's all part of the hype machine, and honestly, I love it. Keep your eyes peeled because you never know when the next clue might drop. And finally, let's talk about the leaked audio snippet from Christmas. If you haven't heard it, it's this jazzy retro track that's got everyone thinking Vice City vibes. Now, is it real? Honestly, who knows? Rockstar is so secretive that this could easily be a troll, but if it legit, it might give us a peek at the tone of GTA 6. Retro nostalgic, but with a modern twist. Either way, it's got people talking, and that's the point. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Peace out.